Hello, Floss Tube. It's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is Saturday night. I'm doing this a little bit early because tomorrow me and Michelle are filming the next Stitch Mania, the talk show. We're interviewing Stitching Book Club. It's super exciting. I should say Kristen of Stitching Book Club, but we're not interviewing the book club itself. We're interviewing her. So since that promises to be a super exciting and busy day, I wanted to go ahead and get this in tonight, so tomorrow I can spend as much time focusing on prep, which will probably also include redoing my nails. They a couple of the nails are really starting to chip, so Sunday night I took the polish off. But Queen Cami Twitch, while I'm thinking about it, I went and grabbed it. It is Sally Hansen Miracle Gel and Hypnotical was the color that I was wearing. So, yes. So, anyhow, how is everybody? I'm drinking iced tea because it's nighttime and this is decaf. Awesome. I hope everybody had a really good week. We've got a fair amount of things to talk about. We've got some haul. I redid all of my WIP plans, because of course I did, which caused its own set of problems. So I redid my WIPs. I've got some WIP updates. Like I said, I got some haul. And I'll show you what I'm going to be working on, what the new rotation is. We'll discuss a little. I've got vague 2021 plans. 2021, that's what year we're going to be in. Finally. So, cheers. All right, so we'll dive into the Q&A. There were some very interesting comments, some very good discussion about Confederate Gray. I was going to do a separate video this week to kind of address some of that a little bit more about the color name, but I for my own sort of sanity, I've decided I actually want to table that for another week or so, to give myself time to actually do a decent research, and come up with really, hopefully, good, informative responses. But I definitely appreciated the feedback on that. So diving into the Q&A, and I'm not really sure how much Q&A there was. Like I said, Queen Cami Twitch asked about my nails. So that was the nail polish I used. And I used, it's a two-step. It's step one is the color, obviously, and then step two is the top coat. It comes in a matte or a shiny, and I bought the matte, not realizing that's what I was buying, because I had no clue what I was doing. So, yes. And thanks to everyone who really loved my finish of Storybook Princesses. I'm so thrilled that it's well, not thrilled. I'm happy it's done. I will miss it, but I look forward to it, or look forward to getting it finished or framed, I should say. Okay, Anne Mousseau asked, and I meant to grab this. What is Fuzzy Floss? So, Fuzzy Stuff is the actual name. It's offered by Rainbow Gallery. It's very, very similar to Whisper. So Whisper is that thread that has sort of the feathery effect, and it comes primarily in your natural colors: white, black, gray, shades of brown. There might be a couple of other whimsical colors, but primarily it's your natural colors. It makes really good fur and beards and hair. Fuzzy Stuff is similar, but it's a little thicker, closer to, for lack of a better description, closer to like a tinsel. It's a little thicker, it's a little fluffier. It's great for things like the ermine lining to the Snow Queen. I used it on an ermine wrap on the Tammys from Brooks Books. And they come in much more vibrant, wild colors. They're meant to be more for fabric and feathery effects versus beard. Personally, though, if you can get the color that you're looking for in Fuzzy Stuff, I prefer working with it. I think it fluffs a little easier. It does have that slight metallic sheen, which may be against what you're going for, in which case then definitely don't go for that. But if the metallic is going to be okay for you, I think it works better, and I think it, excuse me, covers just a little bit better. So I hope that answers your question. And I, like I said, I forgot to grab one of the cards, but it's not here with me, so I can't. D. Neely asks if I'm planning on designing anything new in the future, and the answer to that is no. I did not enjoy doing that. I don't mind doing redesigns for myself, but I am perfectly happy to let other people do the design work for me. Phillips Cross Stitch Therapy asks, since I mentioned that I have done Quakers, would I want to stitch, or have I stitched either Quaker Diamonds or Autumn Quaker, both by Rosewood Manor? Probably not. The Quaker designs that I like tend to be more based on, well, like the Ori TM ones, where they're fairy tales, or they're like animals or stories or something that's been Quakerized versus just a straight up Quaker. Which I think they're pretty, but they just, none of them have appealed to me. So they've got to be something more like Atlantis, where it's a scene of sorts. Modern Folk Embroidery's 2020 style is kind of the exception to the rule. Adam, but if there are others, reach out to Philip. If you're wanting to do it, or you have started it but you need some motivation, you might reach out to him, see if y'all want to get together for a stitch along. Adam Dunn asks a really good question, that's good for new people to hear, as well as for some of us who have been around for a while. He says he's on page 1 of Pandemic by Long Dog, which is a BAP. And I don't like the fabric I chose. Should I switch it or keep going? Switch it. Unless it's a situation where, like, I really decided on Secret Garden that I really was not loving my fabric, more because I was having trouble seeing it, but it was a small enough piece I could just sort of power through. But especially on a big piece, life is too short. If you don't like your fabric, change the fabric if it's at all possible. It's something I have to tell myself as well. I recently restarted one, which we'll talk about in a little bit, because I had gotten so off that I couldn't fix it, and based on the fabric, I didn't figure I was going to, so I switched to an Ada to make the counting easier. You know, there have been several designs. My original start of the Frosted Pumpkins Storytime sampler, back when it came out, was on that beautiful blue with the white polka dots. I think it's a Zweigert. And it was hell to work on it. I switched it to Sandy Shores from Die Stitch Love, and it was perfect. So don't be afraid to say, you know what, I love this pattern, but the way I'm stitching it is not working for me, or it makes me not want to work on it. Let me try a different approach. And of course, if after your second attempt it still isn't working for you, it might be a good sign that maybe this pattern isn't for you. I know I've been there. And there is absolutely no shame in that. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, this piece is about having fun. Lynch Helton asked if there was a way I could show what it looked like. I'm not even too sure where my skein of it is. Hold, please. I will be right back. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, I hope you had a lively discussion about Rhode Island being neither a road nor an island. Okay, so this is the red fuzzy stuff because I don't know where the white is. But it comes on a card just like all the other rainbow galleries. And as you can see, it's a thicker when compared to Whisper. So it's thicker, it's more, it really kind of looks like you're stitching with a tiny feather boa, which is sort of fancy. But it comes on a card like that. You use one strand, don't double it up. You will hate yourself for it. I will always, what I'll do is I will stitch the bottom stitch in DMC and then I'll do this for my top stitch. But there it is. There's fuzzy stuff. It comes, I know for sure, in a whole bunch of bright colors, as well as I think white and black. I have red and white. And I may have another color. I actually may have two skeins of white. I just couldn't find my other one, so I had to order some. But yeah, so I enjoy fuzzy stuff. I'm hoping it does not pick up my swallowing. If it does, I'm so sorry for that. Please tell me if it is. One thing I will say, it's easier to get to my stuff because I can slide down the hallway because it's hardwood and I wear socks. And that takes us to the end of the Q&A. So this week's haul, I got a little bit of surprise haul in the mail courtesy of Kristen of Stitching Book Club. She sent me a lovely Christmas card, but she also sent me the backing fabric for A Christmas Carol, which is this beautiful Victorian plaid with red and green and gold. It's so pretty. So I thought that was very, very sweet of her. So I'm really looking forward to talking to her tomorrow. And I'm really not looking forward to the fact that I'm going to have to be quiet about what we discuss in the interview until we post it. Okay, so we will put you in the bag with Christmas Carol here in a moment when I get you out to show you. Okay, so then I also got from Fire Poppies, I asked Oliver about the idea of, do they have like ornament packs or ornament cuts of fabric? And so he did. They do now. And they put it in their newsletter. You get essentially an eighth of a fabric. You get 6 colors per group. So I ordered 2. I ordered an Ada package and I ordered an even weave package. So in the Ada one, I got some 16 count Country French Rain, which is more blue than it's showing here. And I think these are going to be perfect. I found a designer on Etsy. She has this whole series of monthly patterns that the last one was about to come out for. But they're not holiday specific. It's New Leaf Crafts, and the line is called Hygge Stories, Hyggge. So here's the first one that you can sort of see. That's the January one. The October one has a pumpkin, so that's the closest one to being like a holiday-ish one, but since pumpkins are an October thing, that kind of works. I will say it's very tiny. It's 40 by 40. There's something like 25 colors in the thing. So, yes. But I'm planning to do those this year. And I'll probably do them in a mixture of these. Some 16 count white. 16 count beach walk. 16 count milk chocolate. 16 count Christmas red. And 16 count tropical green. So those were in the pack for the Ada. And then, in the even weave pack, I got a whole bunch of other things. Raspberry sorbet, not to be confused with raspberry beret, the kind you might find in a secondhand store. This is Barnboard Check. This one's a Lugana. That was a 25 count Lugana. This is a 32 count Lugana. Basalt Splash, 32 count Lugana. Navy, 25 count Lugana. Lavender Dream, which is from a dyer called Black Cauldron that I'd never heard of. It's a 28 count Lugana. And Charcoal in a 32 count Lugana. So, good, nice little variety pack there of things. These would probably also be really good for the Pen Pals from Frosted Pumpkin. Right. Okay. So, thus endeth the haul for the week. So, next I'm going to show you the WIPs that I worked on. Some of them is rotational. Some of them are not. Actually, I guess technically they all are, and then I'll show you what else has been pulled into the rotation. I will say Count Your Blessings, which was the rabbit one that I was working on, has gone into timeout because I had a major border screw up. I had a week of it, y'all, with counting errors. Then I pulled out, one of the things I brought back out of hibernation was the Hands-On Designs Year of Celebrations. Major counting error in that too. So both of those went into timeout. So I've now dropped 2 projects. So I've got some holes, but that's fine because we're about to be in January and I'm definitely going to have the New Year New Start, and I'm going to have the Higgy stories that I'm going to be doing. So it's kind of okay that I've got some gaps right now. All right, so I did work on, and I will be working on her tomorrow. I did finish the face and please pardon my parked threads, because I was trying to do enough so I could outdo the entire face back stitching. But I did the face in Rusalka. This is Dark Queen of the Seas from Autumn Lane Stitchery. Look at her face. Look at that face. How phenomenal is that face? I mean, just holy, good God. That's all I can say. Is just good Lord. Good Lord. So that's Rusalka. So I'm going to continue working on her hair tomorrow. And I'm using my cute little Wizard of Oz bag that I got from Liz that Michelle was auctioning. And it's also got my little floss buddy, too. But I've discovered that with this project specifically, what I'm going to have to do, because there's more floss than there is, there are more floss colors than there are holes, is whatever color is in that part will be put into the floss buddy. But I really like using floss buddies. Those are super awesome. Okay. All right. Then I worked on, after that I decided I would finish in with Spring Garden Club. So I finished up the greenhouse. So it's all done in its entirety with its little half stitches of blue glass. So and this is on Kiwi from Fiber on a Whim. My mermaid, or Dark Queen of the Seas, Rusalka, she's on Hurricane from Under the Sea Fabrics. So that's probably the last I will work on this one for a while. I did look at doing, that's a mess. I did look at the blending filament, but I couldn't make it look right, and it ended up not giving me the effect I wanted, so I just decided I would leave it with the half stitches solid. So at work, and the thing that I restarted is Beatrix Potter by Primitive Hair. So this is now my work project for a while because it has a lot of solid fill spots. So this is on Deep Fried from Fortnite Fabrics. It's a little hard to read the quote on camera. It's much easier to read in person. And maybe, no, it's not really much better when you get farther back. It's better up close. It definitely shows up better in person, though. But I did Ada, and I think what happened, if you may recall, when I was working on this last, the row of the stack of books that's over here was way off from where it was supposed to be, and I think it's because there's not even spacing between the lines, and I don't think I caught that when I did this the first time, because I was looking at the pattern trying to figure out where did I go so horribly awry, and I think that's probably what happened, was I didn't realize that I was messing up my spacing. So this is the new project for work at lunch. Okay, so then after all my epic counting errors, I decided I needed something that wasn't going to require too much, so I worked on my Murder, She Wrote, which is the stamped piece, because let's face it, it's harder to screw that up. And I'm once again really, really hoping that when I get done with this and I put it in water, that the X's do all go away, because to keep her lined up correctly, I had to get real creative on her dress. But I got all the green done, got all the red in her dress done. So I've got the red in the building to go, and then I will be done with the red. So, although quite honestly, it calls it red. If it were me, it's really more like a carmine. It's not really red, but it's not really pink either. But it's not magenta, which, as we all know, is Blanche Devereaux's least favorite color. So, whoop. All right, then today I completed part 2 of A Christmas Carol, the Stitching Book Club. There's that fabricant with that. All right, so here it is. This is on Dryad's Saddle from Fortnite Fabrics. I think my minder came from Mad About Minders. I'm mad that the metallic doesn't show up as pretty here as it does both in person and when you have direct light shining on it, because it's super pretty. But there it is. So here's part 2. Part 3 comes out next Saturday, and then we discuss. So I have read part 1, or I guess stave 1 of the book. Which I found out because I was curious why they were called staves, that's actually how a musical staff, what a musical staff is referred to, or is called in England. So Christmas Carol, call it staves. And I was really impressed because I usually watch the Muppet Christmas Carol during this time of the year for obvious reasons. I was actually really impressed at how much of the dialogue and the narration in that film are just lifted straight out of Dickens. So I was really kind of impressed by that, and honestly kind of think he probably should have had a screenwriting credit for it. But, you know. All right. So, that's what I worked on this week. So still to come to work on Atlantis from Owl Forest. It stayed out. We've got the Satsuma Street Alice, which I will be working on as the Caterpillar. I think I'll probably pull this one out on Monday to work on, because I'm kind of ready to work on it. This is on Elphaba from Under the Sea Fabrics. So there's been a little bit of shakeup. Let's see. Then we've got Adventure Awaits from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is on Mummy Wraps. So it's, and actually I was just getting ready to start on it the other night when I really wanted to work on Beatrix Potter instead. So I got the needle threaded, and I think I got a stitch in place. Maybe. Nope, I just got the needle threaded, and then I put it away. Sometimes you just need a new start, or in my case, a restart. Okay. Then I think everything else is something different. Yes. Okay. So I brought back out, since I finished one sal that I'd started, it was time to finish another one that I'd started. And since I couldn't do a frosted pumpkin, that meant a Clouds Factory. So here is Zodiac back out. And this is on an opal. It is on, sorry y'all, my headset pulled that over. It's on a fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics. Do I have the fabric name in here? If not, I can find it, I'm sure. Somewhere, maybe. Maybe. Oh, hell. Well, I don't know what fabric it is, but it's a fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics. And it's an opal. And I think it might actually even be a 36. Because I think I'm using one strand for all of this. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's, I'm almost positive it's a 36. But I'm halfway through it. So, with any luck, that means that in May, I will be finished. And then I can work on another sal. Okay. Then next came out, I used my Galaxy bag for that one that my friend Mandy gave me. And then for this one, I'm using my Hanukkah bag. It is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2020 sal. Do not remember what fabric this is on. Pretty sure it is an Under the Sea, though. But apparently I did not save the tag. But that's where I'm at on it. I think I got like I definitely got the first 2 months done. And I think I'd started on March when I decided that I really would rather wait until I could get complete motifs going. So there we go. So happy to have that one back out. Whoop. All right, then I brought back out Search the Sky from Waxing Moon Designs. And I think this is on a ship's manor. But here's where I'm at on it. So I'm going to finish out the forest for sure this month, and then we'll see where I go from there. And this one's on a blue fabric, obviously. Like I said, ship's manor. Yes, frosted blueberries. All right, and then the last one that I'm bringing back out is Common Thread by Jeanette Douglas. So there's the full pattern. There it is. I'll show that a little bit better. This is also on a ship's Manor fabric, but I don't think the card is in here. Yeah. I think it's a Ship's Manor. It's either Ship's Manor or Under the Sea. I'm not sure which, though. Actually, I think this may be Under the Sea. Most of these I'm going to have to go back and find my original postings on, and I'm sure I list the color name there, but that's where I'm at on it. So, yeah. All right. So that's what's been brought back out. I'm thinking my New Year, New Start is going to be Thread Sewer's Baba Yaga. Robert's Palace of Stitches is working on it. My friend Rob, not to be confused with Robert's Palace of Stitches, Robert, he's working on it. I've seen a couple of people working on it. So I think that, and then obviously the Hickey story will be my new starts. But then there's also the Menagerie one from Lindy Stitches that I want to start, and we'll probably start as it goes because it's super cute looking. I'm intrigued by Frosted Pumpkins Stitch Along. Tiny Modernist is doing a whole series of fairy tale pincushions, which sounds right up my alley and is small, so that might actually work better for me. So yeah, we shall see. So anyhow, that's it for me tonight. I will see you all next week. Have a great week. I'm not sure which night it is, so I'm going to just wish a happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends, and a happy week to everybody else. Bye.